What kind of man talks to the DEA? No man. No man at all. Okay, anyway, it's on to the next lesson. And you're going to learn about geometry kind of word problems. It's your first step here. Okay, these aren't terribly hard once you know what you're doing. I got 3 examples and you just have 1 problem to do. Okay, here's the first example. A rectangular trivet has a ceramic center and a wooden border. The center's 8 inches by 6 inches. We do not know how wide the border is at this point. Part A, write a polynomial that represents the total area of the trivet and the border. Okay, and then so what you want to do if you're on virtual, if you're at school, it's already set up for you. There's an A and a B. Okay, the A is where the hard work's done. Okay, and it's really you might not consider it too hard, but that's where you have the most work. You want to draw, when you're talking about shapes, you need to draw a picture of the shape. Okay, right here. And that's your center. Now they're going to give you the dimensions of that. It's 8 inches by 6 inches. 8, 6. Now some are like, does it matter where you put the 6, where you put the 8? If you put the 6 and the 8, no, not really. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then you make a border around the outside. Now here's what you're going to do after you've made the border. Make a line that measures the outside length. Okay. Now mark little starting points where the middle begins and ends. So we know the distance from here to here is 8. We do not know the distance from here to here, so put X. Okay. Okay, and then right here, make a width measurement and make your little lines. And the distance from here to here we know is 6, but we don't know the distance from here to here, but you see it's the same all the way around, so I can also use X as the variables there. Okay, so that's your picture. Now, polynomial that represents the area of a trivet and borders. So you're going to put A equals, and you're going to make 2 parentheses. This is my length, this is my width. Don't put those letters in there. Now let's talk about the length. Okay. The length is down here. You have X, 8, and X. Put 1s in front of those X's, and you add the X's, and that's 2X. Then the constant is 8, so it's 2X plus 8. So again, I'll rewind that. This was X and X, so I placed 1s as coefficients in front and added them. 1X plus 1X is 2X. No, it's not 2X to the second, okay? I'm adding them. Okay, when I'm adding them, it's like blank X. So 1 and 1 makes 2, then 8. Now the width is the same deal. We have an X, a 6, and an X. So we're adding those together. Okay, I'm putting plus signs there. So I could add the 1X's to make 2X and then plus 6. Now find the product of that. A equals. Now it's a times, so that's 2 by 2. So I go over here and write FOIL. So that's 4 products we need to find and simplify. Okay. So I take 2x times 2x. Then I take 2x times 6, just like you did in the last assignment. That's the end of 2x, that 2x. And then I take 8 times the same things. It's like you distribute the 2x to the second parentheses in both terms, then the 8 to the second parentheses to each term. So 8, 8, 2x, and 6. Now you multiply, and it's just like you did yesterday. So 2 times 2 is 4. Then we have to take x times x, so 1, 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, and then x. 8 times 2 is 16, 16x. 8 times 8 is 48. Okay. Then your degree is going to be 2, so blank x a second. You can stop writing what the degree is at that point on this. So 4 is x plus blank, and then there's x's that need to be combined that aren't to the second power. 12 plus 16 is 28. Then there's a constant of 48, so plus blank 48. And that's the end of part A. Okay. Part B. Find the total area of the trivet if the width of the border is 2 inches. Now, you're like, well, what am I supposed to do that to? Those x's that you put at the beginning, it's telling us that x equals 2. So, replace all your x's with 2's. So, a equals 4. Just, tell you what, parenthesize your, anytime you have an x, just replace it with a 2 in parentheses. Now don't forget that x is to the second, so that 2 needs to be to the second. And then plus 28x, so it's going to be plus 28 with 2, and then plus 48. So all I'm doing is replacing those x's with a parentheses with 2. That one's to the second, that one's not. Now here's how we can do this, okay? You got a calculator like I told you to get. We can enter this all in one shot. So we got 4 parentheses keys are above the 8 and 9. Parentheses 2. Then you close the parentheses. Then to make a second power, you can hit the caret button 2, or you can hit this key next to the 7. That's how to do a second power. See? Sorry, my light's in the way. So that's how it looks. Now after that, we have to add 28 times 2, and then plus 48. And that's my answer, 120. Now the label for that area is going to be inches squared, so square inches. You put inches to the second, or you can put square inches. I don't care. Second means squared, by the way. 120 inches squared. Okay, now I'm going to go to another one. You plan to build a walkway that surrounds a rectangular garden. The width of the walkway around the garden is the same on every side. The dimensions of the garden are 10 feet by 9 feet. Part A, write a polynomial that represents the area of the garden and the walkway. And then part B, find the combined area if the width of the walkway is 9 feet. So A and B. So part A, make your picture first. You need to see that, okay? And that's going to be 10 by 9. So 10, 9. Now you're putting a walkway around it. Now, measure the length of the entire walkway and the entire other side. So from here to here we have a length of 10. We do not know here, and we know we have a length of 9 here. Now all these are unknown, but they're all the same because it's all the same around. So I just continue to use the x variable. Okay. Now right here, one thing I didn't do, I know I didn't, put 1's in front of the x's and combine the x's to 2x plus 10, okay? And then do the same thing here, 2x plus 9. So then when I set up my equation for the area, I'm ready pretty much to go, okay? So we're going to have a 2x plus 10 here, and then a 2x plus 9 here, because area is length times width. Okay, now I want that multiplied out. Okay, again, it's a 2 by 2, so 2 by 2. Because anytime you have to multiply 2 parentheses, you need to start at this point counting the terms in each so you know how many products you need to find. So I go, first focus on the 2x. We take 2x to 2x and then 2x to 9. That's the end of the 2x. Now we distribute the 10 to the 2x and the 10 to the 9. And then we find these products. So 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 1 is x second. 2 times 9 is 18. That's going to be x. 10 times 2 is 20, and you just put x down, and then 10 times 9 is 90. Now your degree is 2, so I'm going to go down here so you guys can see it. Blank x to the second. For x to the seconds, we just have a 4. After x to the second comes x without a power or a first power, and then we combine the 18 and the 20. 18 plus 20 is 38. Then we take our constant and remember to list that, 90. That's the end of part A. Okay, part B, find the combined area of the width of the walkway is 9 feet. So again, it's telling me that those x's I had at the beginning are now equal to 9. So we just replace that x with 9 and that x with 9 with parentheses. So A equals, well, we got a 4. Then we have x, we're going to replace it with a 9, and it's to the, that has to be to the second power. You got to remember to make that 9 to the second. Then plus 38. Make another parentheses and put 9. That x was not to the second, so it's just 9. Then plus 90. And you can punch that into your calculator. 4 parentheses 9. And then hit the key next to the 7 if you want to see the second power. Looks better that way than with a caret. It's easier to see. Plus 38. Parentheses 9. It means times 9. And your calculator will know that. Plus 90. I got 756. Okay. Now that label was feet, so it's 756 feet to the second power. Because area is inside that square units. Okay, then the last problem. The dimensions of a maze are 12 feet by 10 feet. The walkway around the maze is the same on every side. Part A, write a polynomial that represents the combined area of the maze and the walkway. Find the combined area of the maze and walkway if the width of the walkway is 1 feet. Okay. A, B. So you got 12 by 10. Anytime they give you a shape, you need to draw it out and then make your walkway. So this is 12. In the middle here's 10. Now these outer parts we don't know, but it's the same, so we can just use the same variable. Okay, so this is going to be 2x plus 12. Because it's 1x, 1x. And then this dimension simplifies into 2x plus 10. Now set up your area equation. It's length times width. So the length is 2x plus 12. And the width is 2x plus 10. Okay, now FOIL. You got to times that. So that's 2 terms by 2 terms. So sometimes it might help if you make a little box off to the side to do your work, just so it doesn't get all cluttered. If you want to write FOIL across the top, that's fine. So 2x to 2x. Then I go back to the first 2x, and I've still got to multiply that by positive 10. Then 12, 2x, and then 12 to 10. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4, x times x is x to the second. Because they're both to the first, just add the 1 and the 1. 2 times 10 is 20, and that's just x, okay. 12 times 2 is 24, that's just x. See, if I don't have an x to multiply by, if that's my only x, I just put it down. I don't mess with exponents if that's the only one I have. 12 times 10 is 120. Okay, so the degree is 2, so blank x to the second, and we have 4. Then after x to the second comes just the x factors, which I have 20 plus 24, and that's 44. And constant, I have 120. Okay, and that is simplified. Now, B says find the combined area of the maze and walkway if the width of the walkway is 1 foot. Okay, so it says x equals 1. So we just substitute 1 in for x there. That's going to be to the 1 to the second, and then 1 there. Okay, plug it in. Remember, to get the second power after the first parenthesis, the first set of parentheses, you need to raise it to the second, but not in the second set. Okay, 168. So it's 168, and the dimensions were feet, so that would be square feet.